welcome to day 6 of Soapmas. Delighted, and I mean downright delighted to say that this video is sponsored by Skillshare. This company has been on my like holy grail of if only I could partner with them ever since I heard about them about a year ago. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes on design and business and crafts, like any sort of craft ever, including soap making and candle making. And as you guys know, I'm really big on education and creating things with your hands. Even if soap making isn't your thing, having something and a skill, as it were, that you know how to do, I think is incredibly valuable. So if you don't really know what that thing is, you don't really know what you're good at or what you might like, this is a great way for you to figure out what that is, because there's so many options to choose from. You can watch some videos, see if that might be your thing, and then go collect your materials. Now down below in the description box, you're gonna find a little Skillshare link. And if you sign up using that link, you get 2 months of Skillshare for free. And who doesn't like free? There is a limited amount of offers available. So like pause the video right now and sign up. If you're a small business owner in my field or in any other industry, you have tons of things online about marketing and taxes and just all the stuff that's really difficult to try to understand, going through lots and lots of things on the internet. They just compile it in a succinct, easy to learn format on Skillshare. It really is amazing, you guys. An annual subscription is less than 10 bucks a month, so invest in yourself. So without further ado, let's make us some mermaid treasure soap. This is gonna be a rather long video, I can already tell, so let's just skip through all the frilly bits and get right down to business. I'm gonna pour my lye water solution into my oils, and then I'm gonna blend it up until just past emulsification. This soap is a layered one, and it's layered in 4 different colors. Now I've made this soap in plenty of ways over the years, but if there's one thing I've learned, it's that doing things in layers requires time. So mixing in all the colorants and all the fragrance oil, when it's a fragrance oil I know sets up, is a bad idea. We're gonna do 1 bucket at a time. The color we are starting off with is Midnight Blue. This is a deep blue color. It is from Nurture Soap, and now I'm gonna add my fragrance oil. This is a secret sauce proprietary blend. Actually, I'm gonna mix this up first, just kidding. And let us add this to our 2 brambleberry molds. I've zoomed you guys in really close so that you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm gonna put about half in each one. I'm gonna split it pretty evenly. Then I'm gonna shimmy it on down, and then we're gonna texture it a little bit. I've got my trusty spoon here. We've been through a lot together, and I'm just gonna texture this top a little bit. It's a little runny still, but it'll leave a little bit of texture there. I just don't want it to be perfectly flat. I think that doesn't look as good. And then I'm gonna take this tea strainer and some 24 karat gold mica from TKB Trading, and I'm gonna put a lovely little gold mica line down the soap. It's not gonna be a super heavy mica line, just a little one. Do the same on this side. It's not even going all the way across. And we're gonna blend up the next color. The next color we're blending is Tahitian Teal. This is from Mad Micas. It's a lovely teal color. Gonna blend the color first. This is like using a hydrated chrome green without all the problems. I've blended in the fragrance oil, so now let's pour this layer into the molds. I've zoomed out a little bit so that you guys can see a little better and from up further what I'm doing. I thought I was gonna be helpful by zooming y'all in before, but I feel like it was just distracting.
Okay, come over here and put some on this side as well. I'm just breaking the fall with my spatula to preserve the integrity of the curves in the blue down below. I've gotten the majority of everything in there, so I'm gonna take my spoon again. This time it's a little easier to leave it textured on the top. I also hope this kind of has the appearance of ocean waves on the inside, which are definitely not straight. Take some more of that gold, sprinkle it on top and in the grooves. That looks super nice. Do the same on this side. Just make sure that everybody gets a little. All right, let's mix up layer number 3. We're going back to the sort of blue hues for layer number 3. This time we're using Brilliant Blue from Nurture Soap. I'm gonna mix this up a little bit first. I don't want it to poof, poof, poof everywhere. And as my soap is getting thicker, it's looking like that may become more and more of a problem. I am working a lot colder today than I normally do, and that's why the soap is thickening faster. I'm gonna blend in the fragrance oil now. Oh man, look at how bad that rice is, guys. Woo! As you can see, the ricing can be sorted out, but not without a fight. Time to go ahead and pour our blue in, and we are getting lighter and lighter as we get closer to the top. I'm gonna get the bulk majority of this in, and then I'm gonna tap it down just to make sure it fills in all those grooves. I am definitely out of breath after all that tapping. I'm coming back in with my spoon now. I'm making some smaller divots on this layer. Give it a little sprinkle of gold. And we'll move on to layer number 4. Layer number 4, final layer, is Baby Blue from Nurture Soap. The perfect way to top it all off. All right, let's pour in the final layer. It's still easy to pour, thank goodness. I'm gonna put about that much in each one, and then we'll tap it down on the ground. I don't wanna overfill it though, because it may slightly stick out of the mold, and I don't wanna tap it all over the mold itself. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and spoon on the rest of my soap batter. And now that everything's in, I'm very lightly texturing the top. I don't wanna do too much because it's kind of hard enough to mound up the frosting as it is, but still we don't want it just sitting there flat because all the other layers have a little bit of wave, a little bit of body to them. And we'll tap a teeny bit of this gold on top and move on to getting the frosting ready. Okay, frosting time. I took some of my frosting and I ladled it onto the top of our soap here before it had hardened up very much. And now it's still a little jiggly, as you can see, but this is the consistency we're going for on top of this particular soap because I want to be able to mold it. I'm gonna take a nice big scoop and I'm gonna ladle it right down the middle to begin. Just come all the way down, the nice big chunk. I should be able to fit about 5 of them like this. Do about 5 on the other side as well. And then I have 2 blues. We have Midnight Blue and we have Tahitian Teal. These are the mica colors we used earlier, and I have mixed them with a bit of olive oil, and I am just gonna put that right on top. Not a ton, just a little stripe. I'm gonna do the same with the Tahitian Teal. Double helix DNA! And then I'm gonna continue to scoop right on top. I'm not gonna swirl it or anything, and this is just gonna put a little bit of blue on the inside of the white piping whenever we cut it. Things got a little messy, and I let you guys skip that part. It was basically me just trying to scrape stuff off the sides. I got a little ambitious with how thick this piping was, and it kind of sort of slid everywhere, but we're going to ignore that. It really isn't going to change how the soap looks. So now we're going to put a little more of the mica drizzle on top. And I'm being careful to try to put this in a place where once it starts dripping down the side, it's not gonna drip onto my mold. So while I'm putting this on and while I'm texturing the top, I thought I would talk to y'all a little bit about the things I want to encourage people to do when they watch this channel one of the things I want to encourage y'all to do is create. And I think that's pretty abundantly obvious. I want y'all to go out, do something, make something, and that doesn't have to be soap. I mean, that's the medium I've chosen to use, but you could do, you know, cross stitching or quilling or embroidery or baking or just what have you. The options are so limitless. But getting out there, no matter your age, whether you're an elementary school child or a young adult or something in the middle like me or a full-fledged grown-up, using part of your day to create something, I think, is just intrinsically valuable. The same way I think it's intrinsically valuable for young people to volunteer somewhere when they're in high school, some nonprofit like an animal shelter, a public library. I just think that it is good for us to learn to serve others without getting anything in return. And I think high school is like the perfect time to do that. But having a skill, a real skill, something that you can offer to the world as something that you're good at, I think is just a handy thing to have in your back pocket. And that's why Skillshare is so great, because any hobby, any interest you could possibly have, they've got an online course and a teacher who is able to coach you in that thing. In fact, the technique I am using right now to put texture on the top of this soap by using a flat edge and pulling up is something I just got reminded I could do by watching a Skillshare video about creating a modern cake. Soap decorating, or at least the way I do it, and cake making really overlap. And so I typically like to watch baking videos to get ideas for my next soap. So now that I've got the waves and the top textured, I'm gonna start adding some of the decor. So the first thing I'm gonna add are these cold processed soap scraps. I have taken a potato peeler and I have shaved off these long strips. Some of them have been curled, some of them are a little more straight, and we're gonna stick them in on the sides at will. The Mermaid treasure design was very sporadic. There's not a lot of making it all look even and tidy. It's sort of a messy thing. I really feel like the Royal Court is a creative, outgoing group of people. I've seen the soap designs you guys have sent in to me. I know that there's a lot of crafters here, and I know that there's a lot of people who are interested in making art of all sorts. So now that I've got all those cool little soap curls in, I'm going to add some dainty starfish embeds. Not every single bar is gonna have one of these, just like not every single bar is gonna have one of the soap curls. And that's another thing that makes this particular soap really fun, is that each bar is just so unique. It has a unique embed on it. It has a unique flavor. So yeah, I really hope that a lot of you guys sign up with that link below and at least test drive it for 2 months. See what you think. See if you learn anything new. Y'all know I don't promote anything I don't truly believe in. I just think y'all are gonna like it. Go learn something. The next embed we're putting on are these seashells. They've been dusted in gold mica so that you can see all those teeny tiny little details. They are a different shade than the starfish. And one thing about this soap that is different from the last time is that I'm not putting on any mermaid tails. I've got a couple of reasons for this. The first one, and the main one, being that when I shipped them out last time, a lot of people's mermaid tails broke in transit. They're very delicate, dainty little items, and the thinness of that little tail is just really hard to protect. And I don't want anybody getting a busted soap. That's just not fun. But also, that particular mold got kind of saturated in the soap market. A lot of people started using it, and there were tons of soap with that on there. And also, I thought about it more and felt like it did kind of stray away from the original intention of this soap, which is mermaid treasure. It's not the mermaid itself. It's all the things that a mermaid may like to find and keep. Like Ariel has her little fork that she uses as a hairbrush, and all the pretty things she's found at the bottom of the sea. That's what this is supposed to be. Again, not the mermaid itself. Not to say that nobody else should use that mold. You do you, boo-boo, and I do me. Okay, so all the little seashells are in. And now I'm going to add some large pieces of pink sea salt. I thought this looked so cool, like pieces of sea glass. It's the perfect addition. And I am making sure that I'm putting these in a very specific place on the soap, because when it comes time to cut, they could definitely get in the way and make it a very difficult thing to do. And for the final embed, I'm gonna add these white sugar pearls. They are from Brambleberry. Every mermaid needs some pearls. And I have a good dehumidifier in my studio now so they won't melt. Had a problem with that in the past. We are moving along now to glitter. So I'm gonna add some biodegradable large hollow glitter. This is also from Brambleberry. I'm just gonna do a very small sprinkling of this. I don't want this to be the main focus of the soap at all. I am barely shaking the container. Then I'm gonna add some Ocean Breeze glitter. This is from Fizz Fairy. Also biodegradable, of course. I'm putting on 1/16 of a teaspoon per loaf. And then from EcoStardust, we have Gold Digger glitter. It is so beautiful. And look, even the bag is biodegradable. Gonna put this all over the soap as well, making sure I get the edges specifically. To wrap the design up and tie it all together, we're gonna put on a little bit of a melt and pour drizzle. I've zoomed you guys in a little bit so you can see a little better what I'm doing. And in this pipette here, I have a little bit of melt and pour mixed with Blowout Blue Colorant from TKB. This is gonna give the finished soap a glassy appearance. It hugs around all the embeds and it really does add to the realism. One last little dripper full and we're done. After I spritz with rubbing alcohol, of course. My camera seriously does not even know how to correctly tone this photo because there are so many blues in it. This is probably the closest recreation to the original as far as the top goes that I've ever done, and I'll probably never go back. This is just perfection. And my little sisters are gonna be so delighted that Mermaid Treasure is back. So I'm gonna let these bars sit for 18 to 24 hours and then I will come back and we will chop them into bars and take a look at the inside. We are back the next day to cut the Mermaid Treasure soap. It smells amazing. I'm gonna flip it around real quick to make the cutting part easier. It's a little flatter on this side. Okay, so I've lined it up. We're gonna push down with Kermit. Gonna take out this middle piece right here. And this is what it looks like on the inside. So we've got these really defined layers in there of the blue and the teal, and then a slightly more aqua blue, and then the lightest one, the baby blue up top. We've got the little soap curl, we got some starfish on there, we've got all the glitter and some pearls. It smells so divine. Here's one of the pieces of sea salt on there. We got a seashell on this one. Every single bar looks a little bit unique, looks a little bit different. And up here on the piping, you can see we got that blue streak going from where we put the blue oil drizzle. Ooh, look at the tops of these two, so sparkly. So Caleb joins us now with the question of the day.
Would you rather be able to breathe underwater or fly?
Ooh, I feel like I'm not around water enough to take advantage of that, so I think I'd rather fly. If you would like to vote in the question of the day, please click the I in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. I hope you guys really enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring content here at the Royalty Soaps channel. If you're interested in purchasing the creation made today, it will be available on January 8th at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, the first release of of the new year. If you haven't already, be sure to get your 2 months of free access to premium Skillshare by using the link down below. Once again, limited time offer. There's only so many of those links available. So if you're interested, sign up now. Bye for now. Meow.